Hey guys, what is up? You're watching Super Nintendo Collection Quest, the monthly video where I go over my recent Super Nintendo game pickups, play through it a little bit, do a little review, and see if it's something I would like to come back to. As a kid, I loved my NES, but when I got my Super Nintendo, that was it. Great graphics, sound, and gameplay. I was hooked. Some of my fondest gaming memories are from playing some of the greatest RPG, adventure, action platformer, and multiplayer games on the SNES. It's my goal to own every North American Super Nintendo game released, so follow me on my quest to Super Nintendo completion. So this month I picked up number 683 in my North American Super Nintendo collection, Clay Fighter. Clay Fighter came out during a time when fighting games were extremely popular, with Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat dominating at arcades and at home. Clay Fighter was a more silly take on the fighting game genre and used real clay models to capture frames of animation. I already have Clay Fighter Tournament Edition, so this one was really just to complete the collection, since Tournament Edition is basically the same thing as this, but with more content. This is one of those games that you bust out every once in a great while when your friends are over to relive simpler times, or just to mix things up while you're playing some modern competitive games. Or, you know, maybe you're drunk and want to do some karaoke with your cat. Number 684, Street Racer. Street Racer has a Mario Kart meets Street Fighter aesthetic to it. Everything from the Street Fighter title to the character select screen and the KO meter. The racing looks more like Mario Kart, but you'll be fighting each other with melee attacks, so no turtle shells or any special attacks like that. You'll need to get up close and personal in this one. The game supports up to 4 players at once, but the split screen is like a stack of pancakes. I don't know why they split it up that way. The 2-player mode looks alright though. Aside from the racing, the game also has a brawl mode, which is kind of like a demolition derby, but then with the melee attacks thrown in. And there's a soccer mode where there aren't any teams, it's just sort of a free-for-all to hit the ball into the goal. Not a bad game, I'll probably try it again when friends are over. Number 685, Hyper V-Ball. Hyper V-Ball. Okay, I'm not really big into sports games, but I have become very familiar with volleyball thanks to Tecmo. One thing that really stands out about this game is that it plays out completely on a 2-dimensional plane, combined with a very slow pace, and it would normally make for a very leisurely game. How can we spice things up? Robots that defy the laws of physics. The fudge? Okay. One cool feature is that they added realistic names based off the region that your team is from. For instance, from Canada, you have players such as Cabin, Royal, Yukon, Maple, and Leaf. The USA team has Smith, Kirby, Grant, and Lewis. Actually, I think Kirby is especially accurate here. You can customize your teams though, and there are quite a few settings in the options for changing the way the game plays. It's alright. I'll probably stick to Extreme Beach Volleyball though. Number 686, World League Soccer. World League Soccer is one of the most basic looking sports games on the Super Nintendo. Most games will try to fill the limited amount of VRAM or utilize Mode 7. This game just looks like it could have run on the NES. Well, maybe with a little bit of sprite flicker. To be fair though, this is one of the older soccer games on the system. I'm honestly surprised I was even missing this game. It's definitely a bargain bin game. Probably not going to play this one again. Number 687, Supernova. Supernova, also known as Darius Force in other regions. I love Darius. It's funny because this is back when they thought they needed to rename everything to appeal to different demographics. I knew about Darius from playing it in the arcades. I would have probably been more likely to pick this one up as a kid if it were called Darius Force instead of Supernova. Anyway, I love shooters, but this one I'm going to need to do a lot more practicing. There are quite a few surprise enemies popping out from behind you or quickly underneath. It's definitely one where you need to learn the pattern to everything. Just playing it on easy wasn't enough to get me very far. But like I said, I love shooters, so I'm definitely going to come back to this one. Number 688, Peacekeepers. The Peacekeepers is another brawler from Jellico. Going back to Japanese games that got renamed in North America, this was apparently part of the Rushing Beat series, starting with what we know as Rival Turf, a brawler I actually used to own with embarrassing box art. Even back then I was ashamed of it, but it was worth it for some multiplayer brawling action. My friends and I didn't actually call it Rival Turf, we just fondly referred to it as Jellico. So where Rival Turf was essentially the first Rushing Beat game, the Peacekeepers would have been the third Rushing Beat game. You can play 1 or 2 player story mode or up to 4 player versus. There are 4 different characters to choose from, and it looks like we have branching paths occasionally. This one is a lot of fun. I used to play brawlers all the time with my friends, so it might be kind of cool to go through the Rushing Beat series sometimes in 2-player mode. Definitely going to be playing this game some more. Alright, so I added 6 new Super Nintendo games to my North American collection, and I have just 35 more to go. So I was actually pretty surprised prices weren't too bad. It's been a while since I went shopping for retro games, but at least for the games I needed, I got a pretty good deal on them. I know Vita games have been climbing a lot. Unfortunately, I got all of the North American games already, but yeah, those have been going up like crazy. A lot of stuff has been going up, especially since this pandemic going on, but I guess we'll see where we go from there. 35 more games to go. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll see you later.